Yeah, I think we look good. It's a little fuzzy up there. What do you think?
At least fuzzy.
Let's frame this out. Does it look fuzzy? It looks fuzzy.
It's fuzzy.
Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear.
What do you take?
Yeah, let's do it.
You know what's sharp is the art on Queen Street mural. But we're fuzzy. Lost its thing.
How's that?
Is that it?
Excuse me.
Oh,
Better?
It just went out of focus. It's auto-focusing.
Yeah, it should be.
Nah, but it went bad.
There we go.
That's good. If it sticks.
Fuck. Okay. There we go. All right. I think we're good.
Nice.
Okay, sorry about all that, people. I got no one watching this on YouTube Live, but who cares? All right.
This is just a big shot of you the whole time talking.
Basically.
Didn't want the rest of the group in this.
Well, I can't get
You're
you
like,
in there.
There's another person here.
Okay.
Hi.
It doesn't
Hi,
work
everybody.
with two. Doesn't work with two.
It doesn't. Put it sideways.
It's fine.
Do you have to film vertically?
This is just for like whatever. All right. Welcome back
Thanks.
to another episode, and today on this podcast we're going to be speaking with Michael Alexander Smith. Is that what people call it? We all call him Mass for you people out there, MAS, Mass.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also known as Cottage Mike.
Cottage Mike.
Welcome, Cottage Mike, to the podcast. Thank you, sir.
Thanks. Do I need to hold my microphone a little closer?
That would probably help. Yes.
There we go.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is a two-hander.
there you go.
Good. I'm hockey sticking this one.
Nice. So, you're back in the city.
Yes.
You've
Yep.
been here for
Couple weeks.
about a week now.
Yep.
Right. So how are you enjoying the big city? Being back here again?
It's nice. I can tell you it's a little bit more social. We've been doing some work events. I just got back from a little spirited vacation away out of country, and now it's just back at work.
Nice.
So I'm taking advantage of the city by getting some studio time, spending time with my colleagues and some of my best friends here. And although
Do I fall in? I fall in one of those. Do I fall in
You're
two?
more the latter than the former. It's actually a mix of both for you.
Okay.
I think we'd probably hang out. I'd make you hang out with me, even though we don't. Even if we didn't work in the same brokerage, I
Perfect.
think you'd be stuck with
I
me.
enjoy hanging out with you.
Yeah, man. I always have a good time. It's one of my favorite guys to get in trouble with.
Trouble. We're old now. We don't get into trouble.
No, strangely enough, we don't. Not real trouble, but
We might sink the heels in, as the Australians say, at the old pub
I think
around
we do.
the corner.
I think we put a couple dents in that one.
Yeah, we have.
Yep, yeah. So we stay social anyway, and that's important. I mean, I live in a very remote area, so the southern bit of Muskoka, and my lake in the middle of winter is not exactly overtly populated, nor is there a lot to do in the winter. It's kind of seasonal on my lake, so it's important to come down here and see you and go for dinners, and of course spend some time in the office.
So how do you find like clients that are living down here in the city? Do you help a lot of them that are want to move up, or maybe just have that secondary property up in the Muskokas? Like, is that how you're sort of finding a lot of your people, or is it kind of a mix of?
It's a healthy blend. I'm making my name for myself as a Cottage Mike up north,
Right.
But also through the brokerage known as Cottage Mike, there's always someone to turn to if you have a client who's looking to buy or sell up north. A lot of times people are looking to either retire or second property, so it's a lot of buy.
Okay. Cool. And you also help sellers, or you prefer to work with buyers? Tell me about
No, it's
that.
a full service industry. I mean, ideally, I would like to bring more people out of the city into Muskoka and buy, and they'll become part of my regular family that I visit, spend time with, and we do multiple transactions with. So my goal right now is to grow that business up north. So anyone who's looking to leave the city or have a second property is my demographic right now. So
Okay.
I want you out there enjoying nature, getting your toes in the lake, spending time with the family, and for some of those, some of the people that are looking for more the investment side, then we're looking to get those properties rented out so that it'll at least carry itself while you're here with, working away, finishing up the career before you find your twilight golden retirement years.
So in terms of like renting it out, you're talking about like the major platforms like VRBO, Airbnb.
Yes, those are the majors.
So is there any other way that someone could potentially rent out their cottage?
I mean, the absolute ideal situation is you really want to be on these platforms to get your clientele, figure out who these the regular clientele that you're going to run into that you like, that you want to re-offer next year.
Yeah.
And once you've built that database up, as with your cottage business, you're essentially going to be off those systems and you're just going to be doing repeat referral with no more.
Yeah. I find that, in cottage country, if you rent someone's cottage and they're open to, having, multiple weeks rented, then it's a family that has had a really good time at that cottage, or a friend that has had a really good time at that cottage that now tells their, 4, 5, 6 other families about this cottage. And, if you do a really good job of upkeeping the place, making sure it's clean, doing all the proper things that you should be doing with your rentals, that those families will just come back every year. And
yeah, that's one side of it. The other side is the investor side. Is if you've had these good guests, you're encouraging them to come back.
Yeah.
And to tell their family, tell their friends, offer them discounts or what have you. You want to kind of hook them and keep them forever. They're the good ones, and they don't forget that. Essentially, it's during peak season. For those of you who don't know, it's pretty tough to find a cottage to rent, especially a whole property and not just a tiny cabin or a couple of rooms somewhere.
Yeah.
So it can be a little challenging. So if you have your foot in the door and you're gracious hosts and gracious guests, then that's just a match made in heaven. You're going to be spending all your summers up there as much as you like.
how does one become a gracious guest?
There's lots of tips on that one. The first one is maybe don't party so hard on the first night that you get there that you wake up the entire lake.
Yeah.
Because
On that point, the sound will travel across that lake. For those of you that don't know cottage life, that sound will travel across the lake, and you will hear. You can hear a conversation on a dock that is 200 yards away.
especially if you're having a couple drinks and you're sitting on the edge of the dock and you think you're having a private conversation. Like 200 meters across from you, everyone will be laying in bed listening to every word you say verbatim.
Totally.
And then they'll probably come by in the morning and ask you what was the outcome. But that being said, if the noise is a consideration for your neighbors. Maybe you don't make a giant mess and trash everything. But those who go really hard on the first day also don't really show up for the rest of their vacation.
Right.
They launched so hard that the rest of their vacation is going to be just recovery. So it's not. It's like a marathon. You kind of want to pace yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't want to go on a sprint.
Totally. Smart. I like that.
Responsible partying.
So, okay, tell me a little bit about your cottage and where you are and what lake you're on.
Sure. I'm on Gloucester Pool. It's the first lake of the Trent Severn, right off of Georgian Bay. So Honey Harbor, Port Severn area. I'm also boat access, so I'm year-round up there, but boat access.
So is that boat access only?
No. So I'm on land. It's a mainland. It's just the road doesn't come down to me yet. So I can come in by ATV, skidoo if I wanted to. I can walk in and out. But if I take a boat, it's a 5-minute boat ride. And in the wintertime, I have an airboat.
Right.
So if you're not familiar,
Airboat, yeah. Please explain what an airboat is, because
Sure.
I didn't know what he was talking about.
They call them scoots in Georgian Bay. That's where they're born. It's like a gator boat down south with an airplane motor on the back.
Okay.
But the scoot, you kind of sit more into it. So it's a protected hull with a windshield. Instead of sitting 2 stories up and going through the tall weeds, we sit in the hull and the motor's above and behind me.
Right.
So it's a little bit loud. I always wear my ear protection. My dogs come with me. They have butt muffs and they have their little jackets on. We strap them in.
Yeah. Because that would be loud. It's basically like an airplane engine strapped to the back of your boat.
That's correct.
Yeah. It's
So
loud.
you have to have ear protection, and I only use it off season. On season, it wouldn't be nice for my neighbors.
Let's cut to a video of Mike on his boat right now. All right, well, that was Mike.
Thanks for having us back. Oh, here, that was great.
That was Mike on his boat, and as you can see, those things are loud.
It is loud and wild, and it's also very exciting. We are into water, snow, ice, water, snow, ice, and back and forth all the time.
Right.
And
Hence why you need a boat, right? Because
it's
if
gotta
you
be-
had a car, it would be in the lake or you wouldn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
So this thing is the best way to travel.
Oh, it'd be suicide by snowmobile or ATV across the lake. The
exactly.
trails are okay, but I mean they're slow and you have to pick your way through. It's not like a fast trail.
What about those amphibious boats? You ever seen those?
You can do them. I think Argo makes one,
Yeah.
and I can't remember the name of it right now, but it is monster.
Okay.
And you could use one, but they're not quick. And mine's a little speedier. It's
Okay.
like a much faster way to get in.
Okay.
It's also the most cost effective. I think those big units can cost 6 figures, where mine was much more affordable.
Right.
My biggest expense is changing the oil and maybe any maintenance I need to do with it, and the fuel. It likes to go. It's as an airplane motor, it likes higher octane and a few additives, such as because it's a very old airplane motor. It does like leaded fuel. However, we don't put leaded fuel into it. I put a synthetic leaded additive, which replaces that to keep your valves lubricated.
Okay. There'll be more information on that in
More
the
specs on
description.
that to come.
Yeah. You lost me. You lost me. I'm not gonna lie.
The trick is to put the nose down and throttle up. And then
There you go. Do you have a marina on your lake?
we have several marinas on my lake, and I feel like the marinas that we do have are a little are starting to kind of wind down. There's White's Falls, which is owned by an elderly gentleman who doesn't. It's not the same full service that it used to be back in its heyday.
Right.
Gloucester Pool Marina, the owners just retired, so they don't do fuel service or the store anymore. They're just doing boats and launches. And then you get to the other end of the lake, there's Starport and Driftwood, and there are full service marinas if you need in and out, especially for some of your bigger stuff.
Nice.
But for the most part, it's just me. Me personally, I use my landing, and if you're at the other side, like where I am, we use Big Chute Marina.
Okay.
And Big Chute's at the top.
Yeah,
of
I've
the
heard of
chute.
that. Big Chute. Yeah.
If anyone's not familiar with Big Chute, it's the only marine railroad, I believe, left in North America. And so you drive up onto it, and it's a big cage, and it's on rails, and it pulls your boat out of the water, and then over land, and then into the next body of water.
Right.
Instead of going in and using a lock, it uses the marine rail to pull you right out.
Huh.
So you can always use the Big Chute Marina. They're full service, and then you can come in and use Big Chute itself and come down to Gloucester Pool in my lake.
Cool. Are you a fisherman? Do you get out and fish?
I'm not. I support everyone who likes to.
Okay.
I like to
How
cheer
do you
them on
support
from the deck. I cheer them on from
With
the
a beer in your
from the
hand?
dock with a beer in my hand. Yep. My neighbor's kids always come out, and
Yeah.
they're about 13 years old, and they pull out muskie that are the same size as them. They're
Wow.
just monsters.
Yeah.
We have pike, gar pike, muskie, bass, like whatever you can put your finger on. We got it all.
Right.
I think there's dinosaurs down there, to be honest.
Probably.
And the reason I say that is because when they made these locks in the turn of the century, they made Big Chute, which is no lock, and then they made the lock out to Georgian Bay, and closing everything in there. And off my dock is like within 5 feet, it's 20 feet deep, but in the middle it goes down to 80 something feet deep.
Okay.
And the kids are pulling these monster fish out, and these fish end up having like bites out of them. I'm like, what kind of dinosaur is taking the bite of this massive fish that's like the size of this 13-year-old boy? Like, it's insane.
Wow.
So anyway, that's my theory. I think there's dinosaurs in Gloucester Pool. If you're not aware, now's your chance.
That might just be our title of this YouTube podcast.
There's dinosaurs in Gloucester Pool.
Dinosaurs. They've been spotted. Can you talk to me a little bit about the commute? Because I know that there's a lot of people that live in the city that just they dread that commute. So are there any tricks or tips that you can share with us that would maybe help with that commute?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The trick is never leave, and don't go home.
Easy.
Home is now Muskoka. I designed my work life to be centered around where my cottage is, which became my full-time home now. But I'm 1 hour 50 minutes from downtown, like King West, to the landing. It's 1 hour 50 minutes. So that was my dream. I wanted to keep it under 2 hours, but also keep in mind I'm on the southern boundary of Muskoka, whereas as you push a little bit further in, 2.5 hours would not be unusual. So to avoid any nonsense on the highways, I highly, and I mean highly recommend you travel off hours, meaning you leave earlier, or leave leave later from the cottage.
Yep.
You don't want to travel Friday night after work, and you don't want to go home Sunday night in traffic, or if it's a long weekend, Monday. Ideally, you really want to structure yourself so that you can either maybe take an extra day holiday so you can leave on the Tuesday, or just wake up earlier and get after it. And it's well worth it. Did we just lose everything?
Yeah, it's fine.
Are we still talking live?
Yeah, we're still on
that's
live.
nice.
Yeah.
Is there anyone watching?
Nope.
Oh,
One person came on, then they left.
Oh, that's too bad.
Okay, so that's good. It actually normally cuts out after 15 minutes.
Okay.
So we'll come back in
Sure.
after this thing's cooled down.
Yep.
Still got a little bit of time. So it's cooled down a bit. Because so now actually I know what the mark is 15 minutes. So Alex and I did that, and you can't even tell that it shut down after 15 minutes because we just spliced it together.
Oh, yeah, because you're putting through AI.
Yeah.
So does AI take 2 videos?
No, we don't even do AI. We just put it in CapCut because this shit's too easy. It's just literally like, you just put it, this like program.
CapCut.
Yeah, it's called It's called CapCut. It's just like a.
That's the one I think I got for her.
Oh, you know what? Because the light went out. It might have actually just been this thing. Yeah, this thing. Oh shit. Okay, so we might be good. But it gives us an opportunity for that thing to cool down anyway.
Sure.
Do you remember what you were talking about?
I think we got it, whatever it was.
Yeah. The only problem right now is that and the extension cord.
Maybe we should talk about just briefly over chat about like investment properties up north and what they look like.
Alright.
Because like what you're getting for condos down here per month, I'm
Yeah.
doing per week.
Okay. I like that. So we'll talk about that.
Tiger tails. Impact of education. Tiger tails. I slayed all those bitches. TGR learned I think it's funny that they just mixed Thai and the N word, and then you got tiger tails. Normally I'd say there was a camera close by. I'm not.
Oh yeah, we're still on live. They're like, what the hell is happening with this live? No one's on here. Hi everyone. Can you tell that I'm still here? What time are you picking the baby up? My wife asks.
What you want to do?
I'm good.
Any more?
No, I'm good. I'm gonna pick up.
One difference I noticed is I just took my glasses off.
So yeah, this live doesn't really work well unless maybe, I don't even know, but if we can do it like,
Orientation is locked. Rotate device back. Yeah, it doesn't want you long for. Well, we can do it fucking.
yeah, but then it looks stupid in there.
Well, yeah, but if we're just doing it like a quick one, or maybe you pull really far back.
Yeah, we'd have to be further back, which is gonna be tough. Okay. All right, well, let's just jump on this. I think we're good now.
Yeah. So is this going to boost you or give you a couple extra points for being
I've
live?
never done this, but yeah, I was watching a video
Sure.
on it, and the guys were talking.
Writing to memory card was not completed correctly. Yeah, it's not good.
Still there?
It's an enter or cancel. I'm trying to fix this table. What's going on with all our live people here?
No. Nobody likes that. Okay. How's that?
Okay. Looks like something good.
I think the audio is on. Oh my god. Shit. Dude, I didn't press record on the audio.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Fuck. See, this is why there's still a lot going on. I had this thing on, but I didn't press record. Fuck. We just talked all that time. We had no idea.
That's good stuff too.
That is fucking annoying.
All right, let's just pick it up from the beginning.
Yeah, but fuck. Okay. Well, it just won't be a long one.
Yeah, it's fine. these things happen. Like we're ironing this out. So
Mike, Kyle and Mike, take one. Sorry.
it's okay.
That's better.
I got my mic on my hockey stick here. My hockey stick out.
Good. Dude, we had some good shit in there.
We had some really good content. It's okay. So we just realized that we didn't have the microphone off for our last shot. So, and I'm also looking at the wrong screen. I'm looking at the camera here.
Yeah, look at the camera. Always look at the camera.
So we left the microphone off, and it's still early days for us. And there's a lot of technology here. We didn't grow up with the AV club. We
Nerd alert.
yeah, we're slowly becoming more AV oriented, I guess. Is that running?
I don't know why it switches. It should just be autofocus all the time. How does that look?
Yeah, looks great.
Looks better? Okay. Here we go.
Run.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. This is just a realtor podcast that we're started, but today, sitting beside me is the infamous Michael Alexander Smith, also known as Mass, also known as
Cottage Mike.
Cottage Mike.
Cottage Mike. Thank you.
Thanks, Cottage Mike. Thanks for being here.
No, it's a pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
I know you live around the corner, so it is convenient for you to stop by the office here, so thank you. But you also live in cottage country. That's why they call you Cottage Mike.
I am a full-time Muskoka resident. Yeah, that's right.
So can you just talk to my audience here a little bit about cottage country? And I want to know about the predictions, where you think cottage country will be, because right now we both know that cottage country is not doing well. It didn't do well in the end of 2023. Numbers were down, transactions were down. But do you have any predictions for where it will be, whether it be good or bad? I just want to hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't even know if I'd say it did bad. I just think it didn't do a lot. Those who had to sell still had to sell, and what the interest rate rises really did was leave a lot of people on the sidelines. So my massive prediction was that we have a huge base of pent-up buyers that are waiting for interest rates to be reduced, and as well, through lack of purchasing, there's been a reduction of purchase prices.
Right.
So what we're discussing right now is what I would call an opportunity market. And I think once we start to see, as you're starting to see now, the interest rates are leveling out, and once they start to reduce, you're going to start to see buyers jump right back in.
Right.
And that's going to be leading to more and more multiple offer situations and pricing increase. So that window's shrinking, and that's what we're looking at right now.
So as the rates start coming back down, hopefully they won't stay high too much longer, but as the rates start coming back down, I think this is when you're going to start to see more people out in the market and buying those secondary or tertiary properties. So what would the benefit of someone that's looking to purchase a property? So I have clients in the city that purchase properties strictly for investment, and they could be, obviously as a rental, or I have clients that purchase them as Airbnbs. So they can probably, like an Airbnb, I would say would maybe get you like $1,500 to $2,000 a month. What can you do in cottage country with that same model?
If you're looking to take your cottage, no matter what size this, if we're talking like, it's always dependent on cottage cabins, or if we're talking about a 3-bedroom on the water or what have you. But a good rule of thumb is that 1 month in the city is going to be 1 week in cottage country for income. So the waterfront properties are really at a premium, and you can expect to pay increased pricing to be on the water for the summer.
Right.
If you have an investment class of clientele, that's really the selling point and the selling feature. The obvious challenge is going to be finding your people to come in and be able to service that property for your cleaning and maintenance. However, that's when your local realtor comes in and will be able to provide you with your list of names.
Yeah. I found that can be a difficult piece to the puzzle, especially, I would say more of the cleaning, the maintenance on, let's say cutting the lawn or doing things like that. That's, going to be the same week to week. or
Yeah.
every 2 weeks, whatever it may be. But
Yeah.
the cleaning service, that's going to be the tough part because you don't know how busy you're going to be, right?
It's true, and if you have a short turnaround, you have to make sure that your cleaner's going to show up on time.
Yeah.
So that's actually a good point. I mean, finding and staffing these people is not easy. There's services out there where you pay a premium, but also it's also a little bit of who you know when you.
So when you say premium, what kind of premium is it? If you have, so I've seen the Airbnb companies, right, and they'll basically just handle the whole thing from soup to nuts, right?
Yeah.
You provide them with the property, and they will, but then there's a premium. Do you know? Do you have any ideas? To
Yeah, I mean
what
that's
that
more of
premium
a
is?
that's more of a hotel pool style of doing business. If you're looking to manage this yourself, then you're certainly going to be saving the general contractor's fee or the 20 or 30%, I think.
Right.
Because you're not supporting a bigger business. You're just managing the one or two people that come in to do your maintenance and your cleaning.
Right.
And those people might have one or two staff only because they're going to be small. And it's hard to say who you're going to be using depending on which lake you're going to buy on because these people are very regional, very local. So.
Okay. But like in terms of an Airbnb like company, do you know how much they charge? Because I don't. I'm wondering.
No.
Because I know
It's
like
gonna-
a regular management company would probably be anywhere from like 5 to 20% depending on what they have to do, right?
Oh yeah, fair enough. No, I've never seen percentage. I usually see set fees or like 120 per person per hour type of thing. It really depends on which company you're using.
Right.
What I'm trying to say really is it just varies.
Yeah.
And your property is going to be in question as far as for the quoting, and
Yeah.
so is the size and how many people are going to need to come in and clean.
Right.
For me on boat access, so there's a little, they charge you when they arrive at the landing and get on the boat. So you're paying for the boat cruise across to get to your property.
Okay.
And then who's looking after the boat cruise? Is it the water taxi? Is the cleaner going to operate their own boat, which some of them do? Just all I can say is it varies.
Right. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your property and where your property is located. And obviously you're in cottage country, but where in cottage country so people know where
Yeah.
they can find Cottage Mike.
Cottage Mike currently resides on Gloucester Pool. It is the first lake in the Trent Severn if you're going off Georgian Bay. And then it ties in the Severn River and then it comes down the Trent out to Lake Ontario. But it'll pass through Aurelia area and then it'll also pass through the Kawarthas.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And so you told me that you service basically all of cottage country, which is massive.
It is massive. I spend a lot of time in my truck. I can easily spend several hours driving out to Halliburton and all across the Kawarthas and then right back again.
Okay.
So anything that's waterfront, that's going to be me.
Yeah, I've helped a few of my clients in cottage country because my parents own a cottage, so I am familiar with a little bit of the cottage lifestyle and what to look for as a realtor and helping a buyer. So I know those trips. They're actually not bad. I've helped clients in a small town called Calabogie, which I will segue into.
This is a good segue.
Yeah, we are. So I helped my clients, and I found out how far this Calabogie is. It's 4 hours away. So that was a long drive, but it was a nice drive. Like it's scenic, it's beautiful. So I didn't mind it, and I basically spent 10 hours in the car. But that was a good day because I helped my clients and I got a deal done. But we have a new development that is just launched in Calabogie. I was wondering if you could talk about it a little bit, but also I want to hear your top 3 reasons why someone should be buying a property in Calabogie.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Just to adjust your point of getting there, and I think this is very important. It's a different drive than in the city. I could drive 1 hour in the city and I come in so frazzled and white knuckled from like dealing with traffic and being hyper vigilant to just cruising on an open highway where there's so little traffic that
That's
all
a
you're
good
looking
point.
at is
That's
the
a good
trees.
point, yeah.
I arrive everywhere relaxed like you would not believe. I was such a strung out real estate agent here in the city, just trying to park my vehicle to get into a condo and hopefully be on time.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a different animal altogether.
Valid.
So this, and I got to tell you, this build that we have, this new construction piece that's happening, I don't get excited about a lot of things, but that excited me because I saw what they were doing. If you have any interest in, or those of you who've missed out on Blue Mountain, and you have any interest in a ski hill or a ski chalet property, except you don't want to pay Blue Mountain or you don't want to pay Toronto prices, this is your entrance opportunity. That's the number one thing for me.
Yep.
I mean, it was so affordable. Like we were talking like maybe in the 500s per square foot
Yeah.
for a unit there.
Which is prices that we haven't seen in.
No one's seen that.
No, we haven't. I mean, I haven't seen that in the city, and I know, maybe that would maybe be 15 years ago, 20 years ago.
I think when I first moved here in 2013, the city place was going for $450 per square foot.
There you go, and that was 20 years ago.
10.
City place?
2013.
Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe some of city place.
So I'm talking about 151 Dan Lakey Way in particular.
Right. Okay.
And that was
so
the two
those
bedroom
ones
units.
those ones are the newer ones. But yeah. Okay.
That was just the one I was living in at the time when I first moved.
Okay. So price point huge.
Yeah.
This is an excellent reason why it's a good investment.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me two more. I want to hear.
Okay, this is the only place it's almost like when we spoke with these guys, they're treating it like a gated community. So I can get out of my unit in the summertime, get into my golf cart with a bucket of beer, head down the hill, play 9 holes, which they have right in front of their main golf, or sorry, their chalet.
Yeah.
And then I can take my golf cart over the docks and into the boat, and I'm off on the lake for the rest of the day and going out to dinner. There's a little restaurant right down by your docks.
Yep.
So, and that pavilion is also great for entertaining and weddings. And everything that you can do is completely accessible, surrounded by thousands of acres of crown land, which you absolutely can never be built on. So everything that you're going to be living in there or dealing with there is going to be just pristine, just the way you see it. I was so impressed that they brought us out there for the day, took us up skiing. We had ownership and ski patrollers coming with us. We also had a bunch of guys that were like first aid and rescue coming with us as well. And they've spent decades on the hill, and they told us everything about the hill and why this path was named this. And they showed us the views, they showed us all the development sites, and you can really start to see the bang for the buck. Really what we're talking about here, to give the best example, is ground zero for Blue Mountain, except this peak is taller, and they're adding crazy amount of new runs
taller.
now.
We actually looked into that, and it was like
We didn't believe
200 feet or something like that taller. And we didn't really know, because when we first got there, you could see the crest of the mountain or the knuckle of the mountain, but it went up like back and
Just kept
further
going.
up. And we were on that chairlift quite a while, and I was
Yep.
like, wow, this is a good elevation. So I think Blue Mountain was like 1,200 feet, and Calabogue's 1,400 feet. But one thing I want to emphasize about Calabogue is that you have, unlike Blue Mountain, Horseshoe Valley, the popular places, you have your skiing, which is great, skiing, snowboarding. You have golfing that is right at
Yes.
the base, but then you also have a lake, and that's that trifecta right there. Those three things, that's unlike any other resort.
This is
property
in Ontario.
Yeah.
I mean, we get this out in BC on the mountain ranges, but you
Right.
don't get that here. If we could be talking about Whistler, sure, Grouse Mountain, sure, but this in Ontario,
Yeah, this in Ontario, and so that making it, an amazing 4-season property, right? And you can also rent these out, and I'm sure that's going to be one of your
no,
points.
that's.
Is that not your third
It
point?
is, but I was going to even talk about more things that we can
Okay,
do on this
please
hill.
keep
I mean,
going, yeah.
because it's crown land, you can rip ATVs, dirt bikes. There's only everything you want to do there. There's a major racetrack in the area. That's one of the finer racetracks for guys with super high-end cars. So if anyone who's into the racing circuits, this is probably where they're going to be staying in the hotel pool as these phases get developed, which brings us to our next point, which is going to be the rentals.
Yeah.
Can you short-term rent Calabogue? Absolutely.
Yes.
You can hotel pool it, meaning the hotel or the resort looks after it for you. They take a small cut. We looked at the numbers. You're getting the bare share of everything,
Right.
and you're renting it out. And
I think it was 16% went to the pool.
Yep.
No.
I think it was like a 70-30 split or something.
Yeah,
like that.
70-30, but there was a 16.
There's the initial 16 for all the services.
For the
because
services,
they
yeah.
pay. They have to pay whoever that lead or that booking came through.
That's it.
So
Sorry,
you can book through like
Expedia,
Airbnb, Expedia,
all
you
of
got it.
those, major.
So the visibility of this resort is going far and wide, and there's not enough units. There's not even close to enough units. So as we start to build this out, then you're going to start to see this even fill out even more, and it's going to be more and more of a name. But I think we are really talking about opportunity at ground zero to get into phase 1 being released next week.
And I mean, take a look at some of these renderings of the project that we're going to show you right now. I mean, the place is beautiful. It has modern aesthetic. You have your own parking pad, some of the units have covered parking. Most of the units have covered parking. They can go anywhere from a 1-bedroom flex all the way up to a 3-story townhouse. And I believe there's something like, how many units did they say there was in total? There was hundreds of units in the initial phase, right?
Just over 100 units for the initial phase. And that's not even talking about that one special unit they have. It's the architect's choice.
Yeah.
It is they call it the cube, and it is like a glass cube for those who need to see and be into nature, immersed completely.
So we're gonna have a link in the description. So if you want to go down there, you can click on that. And if you'd like some more information on Calabogie Peaks and the project that Berkshire Hathaway Home Services is launching, just go down to that description, and we'll have all the info in there.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be a no-brainer because they're pumping the resort so much now, and all the resort marketing pieces that are going into this, that Calabogie is just going to be exploding, and we're going to see all of these new entries, new events happening there, and as well as the infrastructure that's being built out over the next few years is just going to make this place going to be the next spot to be.
Yep.
How else are you going to go from like my ski out of my lodge and then down the hill and you could be lakeside?
Yeah. This is a great alternative for those people that don't want the busyness, because I've been to Blue Mountain on a weekend, and sometimes you're 30-45 minutes just to wait in line for a chairlift. So this was great for someone like that is looking for, if they're going to go skiing or snowboarding a few times a year. Okay, they have a beautiful place to stay. They can also rent it out. So anyone in the GTA, this would be great for. And also, people that are living in Ottawa. I mean, this is only 30 minutes from Ottawa. So
I think it's a little bit further than that, but yeah.
An hour?
Hour and a half.
Oh, is it?
I think so.
I thought it was 30 minutes.
I think it's an hour and a half from Ottawa.
Renfrew, like Calabogie? Anyways.
Yeah.
It's close by to Ottawa, so
We're going to double check after this, actually.
Yeah.
We're going to put the stats.
We'll put the map in there. If you're living in Ottawa and you're looking for a ski option or a ski snowboard option,
yes,
then this is a great opportunity. So
well, that's where you want to bring the family, I think. But honestly, at the end of the day, this is also where you want to just do events. So if it's a bachelor party, a bachelorette party, and they want to do something that's going to be lodge or mountain themed, then that's where you're going to go. The weddings are happening like crazy in the summer on the pavilion, right on the water. It's like a pier on the water, and then they're hosting the events inside the lodge. So that tells you right now that if you're part of the hotel pool and you want to do a rental, I mean, it'd be a no-brainer to buy this, use it one time a year with your family for vacation, and rent it out the rest of the year, and just let it pay for itself. And that's kind of where my head's at with this space. Like, use it as much as you want, but don't.
Yeah.
There's no real pressure here.
Yeah. No, I love it.
But I also love that Berkshire Hathaway is the one and only brokerage representing this build, and is allowing us to pump this one out, because this is one near and dear to my heart. I love resort and vacation properties, and being up in Muskoka, this one's very, very close to me.
And our advisor team has been doing a ton of work on this, bringing it to market.
Pumping it out.
This has been, I think, 2 years in the making, but we're on full board pushing this one out.
Yeah, we just got our.
And there's a lot of, like you said, there's a ton of phases. So you're getting in ground level.
Yeah, if you like being on phase 1 and getting the biggest bang for your buck and the cheapest price possible, because you'll never see it again, then you want phase 1. If we talk about this phase 2, phase 7, phase 8, what have you, then we're starting to talk about like, oh, did you kind of miss the boat like you do with Blue Mountain? So, not to put any undue pressure, but I think this is going to be a short window of opportunity, but it's going to be well worth your while.
Yeah. Cool. Well, Mike, thank you for stopping by. I mean, you stop by all the time, but I appreciate you coming,
right there,
talking on my podcast. Yeah, you're just around the corner, so this is very convenient for you when you're in the city.
When I'm in the city, that's hard to find me here now.
But if not, Mike will be up on Gloucester Pool.
That's right.
At his cottage. So if you guys have any questions about cottage country, how you can get into the market, or you are thinking about getting into the market this summer, I'll leave Mike's contact information in the description below. Thank you, sir, and cheers.
Yeah, cheers, buddy. Thanks.
Oh.
Nice.
That's a wrap.
That was a good one. I like we have good banter online.
Yeah.
We do that a few more times, I think we'd be fucking.
Considering there's no actual structure, like
It's better. You just ask questions and like we'll talk about shit.
yeah, I feel like I need to at least write down a few more questions because I'm like,
Oh, what are we talking about? Nothing. Okay.
let's talk. Oh, that's good though. That's fun. Now we have to go. Now we just run out of here. I think maybe one person came in on my live. I mean, I get it because it was boring. Sorry for that. Sorry, that was really boring. But we'll try it again. And we'll do it right next time. Bye.